why should they watch the May Play productions? Because it's fun, and because these are a bunch of actors who are all over the country. We have one in New Mexico, we have one in Michigan, a bunch in New York. We're all scattered all over the place, and we're coming together to create theater. And at the end of the day, I love theater and was drawn to it by how it brings people together of all different skill sets and all different backgrounds, and to make something that wasn't there before. And there's nothing cooler than seeing a group of people from all different backgrounds, from all over the country, coming together and creating something and doing it. And it's on a Thursday night. What else are you doing on a Thursday night? Come enjoy and watch the show. It'll be a fun time. My name is Stephen Hayet. If you want to learn about my 2 new plays, Zoom Date and Super, that'll be premiering with Roaring Epiphany Production Company, watch this video. So how these 2 plays came about. In the fall, when I was asked to write Zoom plays, RJ just said, write a Zoom play. And I thought that was a pretty big challenge because I had never written something specifically for Zoom. A Zoom medium where you're trying to write and justify why 2 characters are talking through a screen. For the spring, RJ upped the ante, and Roaring Epiphany is about giving actors opportunities and the opportunities to play characters that they wouldn't normally play. So he let the actors kind of pick the characters that they would want to play. He sent out a Google form with lots of different questions, their characters' interests, their hobbies, their superpowers, if they have a dark secret. And then it was the job of Tom and I to take these surveys and take the answers from them and put as many of them as possible into the plays and into these characters for these actors. And I got some incredibly creative answers. And honestly, the weirder the answer, the more fun it was to write, because it made me think outside the box. It made me think of, how am I going to put this all together? The analogy I always give is that scene in Apollo 13 where they empty all the parts on the table and say, make a filter out of this. And everyone's just holding up random parts and being like, how do we make this work? And these survey questions, the answers that we got from a diverse group of actors couldn't be more diverse, from what the interests were, to what their superpowers were, to what dark secrets they had. One of them said their dark secret was that they had an evil twin. One person said their superpower was that they could turn people into gummy bears. Like, we're talking like all over the place. So trying to find a way to take answers and these questions and make it work into a coherent story was just such a fun challenge. And I hope audiences enjoy it when they get to see the end product. So the 2 plays that we wrote, the first one is Zoom Date. And that's what you'd expect. It's a Zoom date. A girl is going on a date with a guy, but his problem is he falls in love way too quickly. So it's a comedy about this date with this girl who's very nice and a guy who falls in love way too quickly. And there might be a second date involved in there as well. The other play is called Super, and it's about a group of superheroes and with their powers. And one is disillusioned with being a superhero and wants to quit their superhero league, because being a superhero is kind of a thankless job now, where you're expected to save the day. But if you don't save the day, people get mad at you for not saving it enough. So she's a little disillusioned with being a superhero and is looking to start a new profession. And those are the 2 plays that I wrote, Super and Zoom Date. What do I want the audience to get out of these 2 plays? For these 2, I just want them to have a fun time. When I write, I always try to throw some little message or moral or purpose to it. These plays are very silly. They're very fun. With Zoom Date, it's about, I would say for an audience, if they're trying to get some sort of higher purpose out of this play, it's about love and being love and finding love. For Super, I'd say it's about feeling recognized and feeling appreciated. And at the end of the day, no matter what job you have, no matter where you're working, you just want to feel that what you do matters and that people appreciate what you do. But at the end of the day, with these 2 plays, it's a fun time. These plays are very silly. The actors are hysterical and are really having fun with a lot of the roles. So I just want the audience, they work hard during the day, just have a fun evening on a Thursday night and enjoy these 2 plays. So what I'm looking forward to, I want to see Tom's plays, because I know nothing about them, which is part of the fun that when I get to watch the play, not only do I get to see my actors perform in the 2 plays I've written, but I get to see Tom's plays, and Tom Misuraca is a phenomenal writer. The other thing, which is really weird about being a playwright and watching plays on Zoom, is it's actually more nerve-wracking than watching it in a theater. And when I see a show live, I always sit in the back of the theater, and I'm always anonymously in the back, waiting to see if the audience laughs or awes or does the right reaction at the certain time. When you're watching a Zoom play, it's silence. So especially for a comedy, you have no idea if people like it or not, which is probably the most nerve-wracking thing as a playwright sitting there, because you're watching the actors perform. It's like watching a sitcom with no laugh track. You have no idea if the audience is responding to it, if they're on their cell phones, if they even left their computer and went to another room. You have no idea. So that's the most nerve-wracking thing about Zoom theater. But what I'm looking forward to most, besides seeing my actors and seeing them perform, is seeing Tom's plays and the fun work he did with the surveys he got and how he constructed his plays. If you enjoyed this conversation and are interested in checking out Roaring Epiphany's May event, this time it's personal. It'll be May 27th. Go check out Roaring Epiphany's website or our Facebook page for more information, and hopefully we'll see you there.